All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the City Guys podcast. Today, we're going to be recapping the previous match week against Vancouver Whitecaps and then getting on to our predictions for this upcoming match week. Varun, how you feeling after this last game?
Um, not too bad actually. This was the best team in the West. Vancouver, this team was high flying. They're currently sitting at the top of the West right now with 6-2-1 record right now. To be one of three teams to come out of it without a loss against Vancouver, I think that's a pretty big win from us, to be honest. And looking back at these past two games where we played the best team in the East and the best team in the West, we played pretty well considering the fact that our squad is less. I don't know, we don't really have as much chemistry now as we did last year for some reason. So I think that this was a pretty good match. What did you think?
Yeah, I thought so as well. It's a little frustrating that we weren't able to get all 3 points from this one, and we'll get to that in a second here. But I don't know. Overall, it was definitely better from what we've seen in the past few weeks. Getting a point against Vancouver is pretty big. Holding them to a clean sheet is incredible. It's just very frustrating again that we weren't able to capitalize on that. But I mean, if we just wanted to get into the game a little bit, overall, it was a pretty uneventful match. Most of the action occurred in the first half. And obviously, the big thing to talk about with this game was the offside goal that Marcel Hartel scored. Very controversial. They initially called it a goal, but then went to VAR, reviewed it, and determined that there was an offside in the buildup of the play. Um, I don't know. I'm not a rules expert by any means, but it was deflected off a Vancouver player. So a lot of people were saying they should have been offside. I'm not quite sure what the rules are, and if it's different in MLS compared to other leagues, but um, it's just back-to-back games where City are on the wrong side of a controversial VAR decision. And it's just very frustrating because had those decisions gone our way, we would have had 4 points instead of 1 point over
For
our
real.
last two games, and we'd be in a very different position than we are right now. But yeah, I don't know if you had any opinions on that.
See, okay, last week's I thought was when I looking back at the footage, last week's goal that got called offside, that was offside. The Klaus goal, he was offside on the corner
Mm.
kick. So I know that one was kind of controversial, but this week I genuinely have nothing to support the ref's decision or VAR's decision here, because basically on the play it was Pompey who had the ball. He started driving it up that left wing, and he was in the passer or the receiver of the pass was intended to be Joao Klaus because Klaus was running behind the lines, and a Vancouver defender ended up getting the interception and it bounced off of him. And Conrad Valem was there for the recovery also on the left wing. But before Celio made that pass, Valem was in an offside position. But what I don't understand is he wasn't affecting the play whatsoever. Conrad Valem was just kind of sitting there on the complete opposite side of where the ball was going. And for one, it was clear that Klaus was the intended receiver of the pass. And also, I don't really know. It bounced off the defender to Conrad Valem, and then Conrad Valem sent in the cross, and then Hartel finished. Which yeah, I'm no rules expert here, but from what I've seen here, if he's not interfering with the play whatsoever, I think that it should still be a goal because it did end up coming off of a Vancouver defender, regardless of what happened. So that's just my take on it. I think that was a whole load of bullshit. But anyways, yeah, that's just my take. Another week
No,
of
I
yeah,
mean,
yeah. Go on.
yeah, oh yeah, I agree with you. I feel like it is very weird how they called that, especially since they called it a goal on the field and then they went to VAR to overturn it. I don't know. I'm not gonna say that it was like some conspiracy or that it was even the wrong call because I genuinely just don't know.
No.
From my understanding, it seems like it was the wrong call based on the rules and from what I've read and seen. But I don't know. Maybe there's some like random clause somewhere in the MLS rule book. I don't know.
It could
But
be.
also, I mean, the MLS is infamously known for having probably the worst video review of all the major soccer leagues. I mean, it is genuinely horrible, and they genuinely get calls wrong almost every week. So there is that as well. But overall, I mean, yes, I think it should have been a goal. I think City should have won this game. But at the end of the day, I mean, it wasn't a great attacking performance from
No.
City. Um,
I
to
mean,
where, yeah, that was a good play. They were able to create a chance off a lucky bounce. But other than that, they really
yeah.
didn't show too much promise in the attack.
I mean, yeah, I completely get that. Our attack definitely should have been much better than they were in this game, you know. I mean, only scoring that one goal, it wasn't really convincing enough to, be like, yeah, City's back, you know. But I mean, I don't know. I feel like the entire team this week was a much better team than what we've been seeing for the past like 5-ish weeks, you know. I mean,
Mhm.
let's look at the lineup here. We had Ben Lunton net once again, and he had a fairly good game. He was St. Louis City's highest rated player on FotMob with 7.9 rating, which is actually insane. I mean, and then we ran at the back three once again. Yarrow is back. I mean, nothing serious from that. It was just a concussion scare from the previous week's game, but Yarrow's back. Baumgartel ended up playing that center back, like center, center back. And then Heber ended up playing that right center back role. And I think Kessler had a knock in training or something. It was like some sort of an injury that he got in training.
Mhm.
Um I don't have any news about that. I'm not sure what injury it was. I don't know if you do. But I mean, the midfield, Akil Watts and Valem were playing those wingback roles with Alfredo Morales and Hartel kind of holding up that midfield. And then the front three, Pompeu, Teuscher, and Klaus. I mean, this lineup is pretty good. I mean, so far, I like what I'm seeing. I like what I saw from this.
Mhm.
It's just that I would like to see more attacking output. I don't know what do you think about this?
I like the starting 11 they rolled out with. I thought that overall Milberg did a pretty good job putting this one together. But I would say the surprising thing was not seeing Kessler in the lineup. He did suffer an injury during training on Friday. But yeah, that was pretty surprising when the starting 11 first dropped and not seeing him in here for the first time this season. But I actually thought the team played very well without him. I didn't think, it was kind of hard to notice that he was gone at times, which is a good sign. But
Okay. I actually did end up finding out what injury Kessler has. So Kessler has a grade 2 hamstring strain, so he might miss up to a
mm,
month, about a month. So, I
yeah,
mean,
that's
yeah, that's probably our best center back out for about a month, so that's huge. But, I mean, we have to look at the positives in this game, you know. This is the most prolific goal scoring club in the MLS, and we held them to 0 big chances in this game. So that's
mm,
huge. What their striker Brian White is at 6 goals or 7 goals in the season. So shutting him down completely was insane. And also,
mm,
my biggest thing that I liked was that we actually had a game where in the first half we had above a 50% possession, which I don't know when the last time that happened, you know. So in that
yeah.
first half we had over 50% possession. I mean, from what I saw from the attack, they were in general more creative, I guess, because Melberg he used mostly attackers. He didn't make a single defensive sub this entire game. I mean, and also another huge thing, the youth academy. Youth academy is finally getting some love here. Mikey Joyner finally getting some game time, and he got some pretty good game time. I think he played 30-ish minutes, maybe. Let's see.
Mm,
Yeah, it came on the 73rd minute, so about 20-ish, 20, 25, 27 minutes of game time. So that's pretty good, honestly.
yeah.
Um, but I mean, it's just we just can't outscore our opponent. That's our biggest issue with the team. That's just
Mm,
I really do think that I mean we need to get something going here and we need to start scoring. I do want to see more value coming out of Toysher. I didn't really think he did much in this game, to be honest. That's just I don't know. I thought that Pompeu was really pretty good this game, but Toysher, I think I would like to see a little bit more value coming out of him on that side of the field.
Yeah, I think he's had a very rough start to the year, especially compared to the end of the season last year that he had, where he was phenomenal. And I think that's just one of the very frustrating things about City right now is that our tech was actually very solid at the end of last year when we brought in all those new signings, and that has just completely gone away. I mean, Toyherd has been very poor. Hartel overall has not been as good as he was last year. I mean, it's just very frustrating, and I don't know if maybe that's a player issue or a coaching and tactics issue, but it's something that definitely needs to get solved quickly because we are dropping points every single week because we cannot put balls in the back of the net.
Yeah.
And it's something that's so strange to me because that was like the only thing we could reliably do the last couple years, it seemed like,
Yeah.
was we were an above average goal scoring team. We just struggled in the midfield and on defense. And our defense is much improved. The midfield is still rocky, but I mean, our attack is non-existent at this point, and it's just very frustrating to watch every week.
You know, one thing I want to bring up is Pompeu had only 6 attempted passes this game.
Yeah.
But that's not because he was bad. I think it's just because he took every single 1v1 that he could possibly get. Every time I saw him, he basically was just trying to out dribble the opponent or outsmart the opponent. He kind of just he was actually really good. And I mean, I thought that
Mhm.
was a very good sign for him in the future. I mean, if he gets that perfect balance, with just enough creative play with the ball and also like dribbling past your beating your opponent, Pompeo is huge. I mean, I've been saying this for weeks now. Pompeo needs to get more game time, and I mean, he's finally
Mhm.
starting games, which is actually huge for us. But also, I want to talk about our back line. Hebert and Yarrow had themselves a pretty good game. I'd say that they both impressed me pretty good. I mean, Kessler being out our biggest center back, but yeah, Hebert and Yarrow ended up stepping up. They were pretty good. Morales was pretty good in that midfield. I mean, Lewin's out once again with another. I think it's personal reasons. So yeah, something's got to be going on there. So I mean,
Yeah.
hoping Lewin comes back soon. But I mean, Morales is holding up that midfield decent at least. Yeah. But
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah. Um. I mean, yeah. I think that one of the things I was talking to somebody at the game um, this last Saturday, just a
Uh huh.
fan, and he mentioned to me that City were I believe they were 27th or 28th in the league in individual take-ons, like near the bottom. And I was also kind of surprised that we weren't the last team in the league when it came to that because that is just not part of Melberg's style and just not part of his philosophy. And I think it's something that I really noticed in this game as well. Is when you see players get the ball in the midfield, they're immediately looking for a pass. They're not trying to use the space given to them or look to take on a defender. Outside of Pompeu and Vollum, there's not a single player who really likes to make a run at the defenders on this team. And it's interesting because I think it's probably more of a coaching thing, kind of Melberg style of play, but it is also, I think, to a detriment of the team right now because we're seeing a lot of teams kind of adjust to that. I mean, Vancouver was giving our guys so much space in the midfield, and we just were not using it at
Mm-hmm.
all. I mean,
For
it
sure.
seemed like we were just like I don't know if it was a confidence thing or if it was just a try and a tactical try and to catch them on the a quick counter attack with an immediate pass. But whatever it was not working in this game, and I think something I'd like to see going forward is players to be a little bit more poised on the ball, like, once you get the ball, you shouldn't look to immediately pass it all the time. Sometimes the best move is to just use the space given to you and try and advance it up the pitch by yourself. And I think that's something that obviously Pompeo does very well. Vollum does it pretty well as on the team as well. But I think a lot of the like I know Marcel Hartel I think was the biggest offender of this, where I just constantly stall him. Whenever he got the ball, he would immediately look to pass or immediately ping it to somebody else. And
Yeah.
I don't know. Sometimes I think you need to just take your time and let things develop a little bit.
I completely agree. And I mean, Hartel hasn't been scoring. I mean, I don't know. Has he scored this year? Because he
Yeah,
might.
he
He
scored
scored in
against
the
LA.
LA game. Yeah. So I mean, it could just be a confidence thing that he just does not trust himself with the ball. I mean, you can kind of see it, but I mean, it's interesting to see like going forward here because in this game, Totland and Horn were both on the bench. So both of those guys are
Hmm.
back. So that is a huge boost for the squad. I mean, Totland, we know, is that fast right wing back basically. That's kind of what he plays now in this new scheme. And
Hmm.
then Giannis Horn will probably end up also playing one of the wing back roles or even a center back role. But I would like to see, I mean, Totland, I kind of feel like would also bring in a lot more creativity. I mean, this guy was really good before he got injured. He was really good for us, to be honest. Because I feel like
Yeah,
we only started losing games when we lost Totland. Because our first losses against Philly, yeah,
yeah,
yeah. So
yeah.
that was when Totland was gone. So I mean, I really would like to see. I mean, there will be a lot more creativity coming back to this team with Totland coming back. I mean, also, I mean, what Alm is scheduled to come back within 1 or 2 weeks. Nielsen will probably be a little bit longer, so that's another center back out. Berkey, it might be one of the biggest news here for this week. Is he is either gonna play probably this week or next week. It's
Yeah.
kind of like we don't really know, but within the next 2 weeks, we might actually see Berkey come back and start playing for us. So I mean, that is a massive boost. I mean, this was what 2-time MLS what do you call it, All Star,
Hmm.
and another one. Jaden Reed coming back early May. So I mean, that's another player. He's pretty good at the ball. I do think that he is also a very creative player. So I mean, that is huge for St. Louis right here.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, it's hopefully gonna see a more positive impact on the team, because we have had a lot of injuries to start this year, and I think the Totland one probably being the most impactful, just because he was kind of our sole guy that we used at that right wing back position. Now we're flexing, Watts and Yaro's played there a little bit, so having him come back is going to add a lot to the attack. But overall, I think that this team is we'll see at full strength if they're able to make changes and improve. But what we're seeing right now is just not good enough, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It's getting to the point. What is this? 7 or 8 weeks in. Um,
We are currently on week 9.
9. Okay. So yeah, we're a decent way through the season at this point, and we talked about before the season started how it was going to take some time early in the year for Melberg to kind of experiment and to kind of adjust. But what we've seen so far has not really sparked a lot of optimism, I would say, from Melberg. And we have seen, we've had 9 matches now. Some of them have gone okay, and some of them have gone terribly. We haven't really had a strong performance outside of maybe the LA Galaxy game, where you could say we played really well, but LA Galaxy are also the worst team in the league right now. So I don't know. It's just been a very bad start to the year from St. Louis City, and I think for Melberg, results are definitely needed at this point. I think the experimenting phase is kind of coming to a close, and we're getting into the actual results phase of the season. And we're gonna have to get some wins and score some goals here.
I completely agree. I mean, I don't really know if I'd consider any of these games like past 9 games. I mean, did St. Louis City really dominate in any of those games? Or was it more of like a
I'd
50-50,
say
That's kind of like, I mean,
I would say the very first game against Colorado seemed like a pretty dominant performance, even
yeah.
though we drew in that game.
I mean, the LA
But that was about
Galaxy,
it, really.
even LA Galaxy, they could have easily put in past 3 or 4 goals past us. Because, I mean, that was just
Yeah.
a LA Galaxy disaster class that game. And I kind of
Yeah,
felt like that scoreline, that 3-0 scoreline, didn't really justify how close the game actually was, if you know what I mean.
I agree. Yeah.
So
Mhm.
I guess other than that Colorado game, this St. Louis City team has not been very dominant. It's kind of like we're kind of relying on the counterattack. We're sitting back, waiting for the opponent to make their first move. Which I mean, for Melberg being a guy that wants to have possession, kind of play with possession, build out of the back. I mean, it's a complete opposite of what we're seeing. So I would like to see. I
Mhm.
mean, we're what, about a fourth of the almost, yeah, more than a fourth of the way through the season already. So it's time to score some goals. I mean, that's literally all I have. Like,
Uh,
we need to score
yeah.
goals. We have 5 goals in 9 games. That's what, 1 goal in the past 5 games right now. So that's not good whatsoever. So we need
Yeah.
to, I mean, we need to score.
Mhm.
I mean, Melberg's done wonders for our defense. That's no secret with that. We're one of the lowest conceding teams in the league. But I mean, we're also one of the lowest scoring teams in the league as well. So we're just not really doing anything. That's just we're not really doing much. We're sitting in 12th place with 9 points. I mean, we're well out of that playoff spot, and I think that this squad definitely has the talent to be make playoffs. I mean, that's really what I'm saying. I don't know, to be honest. Like, we should be making playoffs with this team here, but it's all just going to come
Yeah.
down to finishing. I mean, I also do feel like finishing has been an issue this year, that players just cannot finish their chances, but it's also creativity. I feel like the creativity's gone up since Pompeu and Valum have kind of been playing down the wings, but finishing, man, we need to finish.
Mhm.
I sh- yeah,
Yeah. I completely agree with all that. Do you want to get into our predictions and kind of analysis for this upcoming game against LAFC now?
indeed. So,
So
yeah.
you could go ahead, actually.
So we are playing LAFC in LA, and LAFC is currently sitting in 7th place with 13 points. St. Louis City, as I just said, are in 12th place right now with 9 points. So LAFC is 4-1-4. St. Louis City is 2-3-4 right now. So I
Yeah.
mean, let's see. Let's talk about LAFC here. They have 13 goals for and 14 goals against. So this backline has been one of the leakier ones in the MLS. I mean, if you look at their recent form, it's win, loss, win, draw. So their
Mm.
very last game, most recent game, was a 3-3 thriller against the Portland Timbers. So I mean, they're letting goals pass by, but they are also scoring them. I mean, their front three is pretty good. I do really like this front three with Olivier Giroud, Danny Buanga, of course, who has always been a menace versus St. Louis City, I swear, and then Ordaz. They're all doing pretty well, and I mean they also do have a pretty good goalkeeper with Hugo Lloris. So,
Mm.
what are your thoughts, initial thoughts on this game here, Fletcher?
Yeah, I think going into this game, LAFC are obviously one of the more consistently strong teams in the MLS, and they are looking to have a pretty solid start to the year as well. So it's going to be a tough game. Um, but I mean, with a performance like we just had against Vancouver, holding them to 0 goals, I definitely think we could replicate the same defensive performance against LAFC. I would see no reason why not. I think if we could hold LAFC to 0 or one goal, we're gonna have a very good chance of getting some points from this game. It's gonna be tough to obviously win away, but I don't know. I think with LAFC, it's definitely a this is a winnable game. I would say this feels the most winnable of our last 3 games going
Mm,
into it. Um, and
indeed.
it's all just going to come down to the attack once again. Are we going to be able to create enough chances and finish those chances to score multiple goals? Because I think if we could score multiple goals, I'm very confident we could win this game. I don't think we're going to give up more than 1 goal.
Okay, I completely agree. And you know what the crazy thing is? We've never beaten LAFC in our history. They
Mm.
have a 3-1-0 record versus us. So, I mean, this is there's no better time to win this game but now. So, I mean,
Yeah.
this game would have a huge impact on St. Louis City if we win this. I mean, that's 3 points, and that would basically take us maybe to like the ninth, 10th spot here. It would definitely take us a couple places
Mhm.
up, hopefully. But I mean, I feel like our defense is good enough to stop them. We really need to watch Danny Buanga on that wing. So I feel like that is our
Yeah.
biggest threat. I mean, Giroud has been okay. He hasn't been that great. Last week was actually his first ever goal scored for LAFC. So I mean, take that as you want. I mean, he hasn't been that great in general. But Danny Buanga, we need to watch out on that left wing. So I don't know. That would either be Totland watching him or Akil Watts. Oh, you need someone fast enough to be able to track him and mark him. Because I mean,
Mhm.
who is that? Yarrow. Yeah, Yarrow's gonna have his hands full with him. So I mean, that's just he. I think that Danny Buanga is my standout performer this week. For their team. But I mean, this back line is still the LAFC back line is still been pretty leaky. With the goals. I mean, they literally just conceded 3 goals versus Portland. So I do think that
Mhm.
if we start out with an early goal, I think that we have everything we need to get a W out of this. But I mean, we really need to score early. That's my thing.
I agree with that. Getting a first half goal would be huge in this game, um, so that we could sit back and kind of absorb all the pressure with our back line. I don't know. I'm feeling a little bit more confident going into this game than I have over the past couple weeks. Um, Overall, I'm gonna go with a. I'm gonna say 1-1 as my prediction. I think it's gonna be a one all draw.
I'll go with a 2-1 St. Louis City. I'm thinking we get
Okay.
I'm thinking we
Wow.
get a W here. I don't know. I think we score in this game. I think we score multiple actually in this game. So
Hmm.
I mean, that would be crazy if we scored multiple against both LA teams. But I mean,
Yeah.
but yeah, I'll go with the 2-1 win. I mean, I don't really know how realistic that is, but we'll see.
Hmm.
I do think that our attack will click. I mean, we really need to. I mean, also in that presser after something I need to mention in that or in the press conference after the Vancouver game, Conrad Vallum said that this team is very close to clicking. He thinks that it's right there. It's about to burst. The team will be very close to clicking. So, I mean, the players believe it. So, I mean, as fans, I feel like we need to believe in this team, that we can score more than one goal a game. So,
Hmm.
I think
Hmm.
that it's coming, man. It's coming. It's coming.
Yeah.
But,
Well, I mean, a 2-1 win would be an absolutely huge result at this point in the season, to kind of put things back on track. But
okay.
I don't know if I'm quite as optimistic. But
I mean, also, yeah, I know we talked about this and like how we're playing a schedule of doom right now. And I mean, it's not been that bad. Like
mm-mm.
I mean, we still lost last week versus Columbus, but like technically it has not been that bad. I mean, we genuinely thought that we'd get like crushed by these teams, but it hasn't been bad whatsoever. I mean, Kansas City was like the worst game we've had. I mean, Columbus was a good game, I thought. I guess Austin maybe also you could throw in there. But I mean, Vancouver, not a bad game whatsoever from us. Columbus, that game could have ended 2-2
Mhm.
for all we know if we didn't get called back. We could have beaten Vancouver. So I mean, two of the best teams in the league, and we had these performances. I mean, that is huge from St. Louis City. I
Mhm.
can't lie. We are making progress. We're slowly but surely we are making progress. I think that Melberg scheme is finally like clicking with these players, and hopefully one day, hopefully in the next couple weeks, I think it all just clicks.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I mean, we have been on an upward trajectory since the Kansas City game. Those last 2 weeks, I mean, our performances have improved, um, albeit not to the level that we necessarily want or expect, or expected from this team early on in the season. But yeah, if we can, like we said at the start going into the schedule, if we could just win one of these games and get a draw here and there, that would be more than okay. And I mean, we got the draw last week against Vancouver. If we can just win either this game or the game against Seattle, getting 4 points in 4 games against a pretty brutal schedule is a pretty good result, I think, from City.
Yeah. And I mean, looking forward, we are playing Seattle in Seattle. Then we come back home and play Union Omaha at Energizer Park. And then we play San
Mm,
Diego in that during that weekend at home. And then we play Kansas City at home. So that's what, three
mm.
games in a span of a week right there. It's a Union Omaha game, San Diego, and then Kansas City. That's all three games within a span of a week. So, I mean, that Union Omaha game, I think, will be something different for St. Louis City. I mean, we won't be starting like anyone too big, I don't think. We're gonna be starting
Mhm.
maybe like our City 2 guys, but I mean, looking after that, we are playing Minnesota, which is one of the better teams in the league as well. I think they are in third place right now. Yeah, third place with 16 points right now. So I mean, Minnesota is a good team, but
Mm.
I mean, I really do think that St. Louis City has the talent. We have, I don't know, Melberg's scheme is slowly but surely working. So until the summer, I'll give Melberg the summer until like he has my full faith right now. So I mean, you got to give the manager some time to let his like scheme develop and like the way he wants to play the game. So just trust in Melberg for now, and we'll talk about this later on in the season if it's working out or not.
Yeah, I completely agree, and I'm excited for this match week. First time in a long time I've actually been excited to watch a City game, to be honest. Uh, but
I mean,
yeah, I'm feeling pretty good going into this match week, or at least better than I have been recently.
for
So
sure. I mean, this was also coming off of like a rough week for St. Louis fans in general. I mean,
yeah,
City drew, the Blues lost, Cardinals lost, and the Battlehawks lost. So hopefully it all goes up for St. Louis sports. But
yeah,
yeah, this next weekend, is massive for St. Louis in general. So
hmm
that's basically
hmm
all I have. Did you have anything else to
yeah.
add?
I don't.
No.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. So hopefully we come back the next week with a win at LA.
Yeah.
But anyways, thank you so much for watching, guys, and we'll see you in the next video.